Right here. Ow! Protect your out. We put the work in. Let's finish. Come on, man. Let's do this. Family, I'll do 1, 2, 3.
You see, we dream chase, cause that's all we was given to start with. Then we realized the dream was obtainable. Now look at us.
What's going on, Eagles Nation and TMTP family? Welcome back to another episode here on the Main Thing Podcast Presents. It's your boy, Mr. Owens, and after further review, the call stands. I'm still official with no stripes.
What's going on, Eagles family? This is your man, Big Huss, the one you trust, bringing you all your Philadelphia Eagles latest. Now, look, well, we watched this past Black Friday, man. It wasn't just a loss. It wasn't just something you could shake off. You can't even call it like a bad bounce or just an off day. It was just pure ugliness. This was a 24-15 loss to the Chicago Bears. That felt like a whole documentary of the season and how it was just unraveling just kind of in real time. Now, look, tonight, we're going to break it all down. You know, me and Mr. Owens got to get it to y'all proper, right? We're going to talk about the good, the bad, the Everest-level ugly.
Jesus
Lord
Christ.
Jesus. Coaching decisions, execution problems, discipline issues, injuries, turnovers. Look, the whole shabil. We're going to give it to y'all straight tonight. Before we jump into that, Mr. Owens was to holler at y'all real quick.
Yeah, because we got a lot of issues to talk about, man. But Jesus. But to our loyal supporters, thank you. Y'all know it's all love. The Main Thing Podcast Presents can't happen without the support from y'all. And to our new supporters, welcome to the community and our family. Let's continue to do our part for the community and our family. Please continue to like the videos. It does help with the visibility in the algorithm. Disrespect that comment section. Share and subscribe to the community and our content. And last but not least, you don't want to forget to do this. Make sure to turn on the noties and keep your ears and eyes peeled to the streets like your local neighborhood watch. Wow. So you don't miss when me and Big Huss drop this pressure on y'all.
Hey, man, so look, let's jump right into it.
Let's get into it.
How bad was it really? It was bad. Now, look, the score says 24-15. Bears obviously winning. But the score can sometimes be a bit of a liar and kind of play tricks on you, right? It could tell you one thing when it's really another, right?
Liar, pants on fire.
Right? You feel me? Little Houdini, you know what I mean? Little magician type thing. But no, the game was never close, honestly, not even for a second. Chicago outgained the Eagles by 200 rushing yards. Once again, 200 rushing yards. Absurd, right? That was 281 yards to 87. The Bears had ran 85 plays to only the Eagles 51. They held the ball for nearly 40 minutes. That's ridiculous, especially when you talk about the Eagles are known for winning TOP, that's time of possession. They turned Lincoln Financial into the Chicago Bears staying park, man. You know what I'm saying? Kids running around with stuffed animals, Bears. Let's go, Bears, right? It just wasn't looking good. Then you go across the way and you look at the Eagles sideline, you see blank stares, hands on hip, bad body language, a team that's just truly, you could tell, searching for answers and really coming upon them, right? If you didn't know, somebody was to ask you who was the reigning Super Bowl champions. By watching this game, I got to be honest, you would have thought it was the Bears. They played stellar defense. They played stellar special teams. The offense was rhythmic, you know what I'm saying, running, passing, kind of in sync. Now, Taylor Williams didn't have a big passing day, but it was just enough to keep this Eagles defense off balance. Look, man, this wasn't a fluke. It wasn't a trap game. If I'm being completely honest, we got exposed. The things that we had been putting Band-Aids on for the prior 10, 11 weeks, whatever it is, 12 weeks, man, Bears came in and ripped that thing right open like, hey, nah, this is what's going on. Really put it on Front Street, and it couldn't be ignored.
Yes, and you make a very valid point because, well, they had the ball for nearly 40 minutes. We know that the full game is 60 minutes. So we only had the ball for 20 minutes, bro.
Facts.
And then on top of that, they took a page out of our book. What did you say? We usually win time of possession and we run the football.
Mhm.
That is how we've been our bread and butter since last year. Run the football, win TOP, and win the turnover battle. It was crazy because, as we mentioned before in previous episodes, you said it best. Our defense is tired.
Yep.
Our defense has been on the field week in and week out. We lead the league on offense from an offensive standpoint with 3 and outs. Our defense doesn't have any time. So it's people, I've been seeing it on social media and everything, talking about, oh, the Eagles defense got exposed. The Eagles defense is not really that good. Of course, they're not going to be that good. Being on the field for as much time as they're always on the field, you don't have no time to catch breath. You don't have no time to look at the tablets to see any mistakes.
And 85 plays, that's a lot of plays, ladies and gentlemen. On average, you get around 60.
70. Like,
you know what I'm saying? On a high day. 80-something plays, that's a lot of plays for a defense to be out there.
Yes. Oh my gosh, man. And if we could talk about some good, it really wasn't that much good. It was very little, but y'all already know here on the Main Thing Podcast Presents, we got to cover all angles. So let's rip through some positives quickly because, again, this list is minuscule. Arthur Juan K, he was the lone bright spot on the Eagles offense. He had 10 catches for 132 yards and 2 touchdowns. That was a season high game for him, a one-man offensive show, as I just mentioned, and the only dude who looked ready to play on Black Friday, the only one who didn't look confused or lost in the system. I'm sorry. We know Thanksgiving was the night before. You know, they probably ate all the turkey, macaroni, cheese, candy yams, all that. Nobody else came ready to play. Okay. Arthur Juan K was the only one to show up on that offense. Now we did have a QB1 to Arthur Juan K sighting. We had a 33-yard touchdown. It was a vintage 2022, 2024 connection. It was a laser from QB1 down the left sideline. It was a perfect route by Arthur Juan K. That capped off a 5-play, 92-yard drive, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls of all ages, which is crazy enough, though. That was more yards than the entire offense had before that point, which is mind-boggling. And then on top of that, we get a little spark, we get a little juice coming our way. Jake Elliott missed the point after try. And obviously, as we know, we had 30 miles per hour wind, but it's just unexplainable for Jake Elliott to miss a point after attempt. Those are the type of things that we shoot our own selves in the foot and put ourselves behind the 8 ball. Now, Jalyx Hunt's interception, man, that boy looking fluid in pass coverage. It was a beautiful disguise and scheme by Vic Fangio, but it was perfect timing by Jalyx Hunt. He jumped it like he ran a route himself. I'm glad to see that our defensive end got some hands. Of course, he used that from his old safety days.
I was about to say, show off his safety skills.
You really showed up. Give me that. Give me that. You feel me? But that was a beautiful, beautiful play by Jalyx Hunt. He just continues to get better and better and better as his career keeps continue to progress. And of course, the Eagles, what happens? Because said it previously on one of the other contents, we'll get a turnover. Yeah, go. We don't do nothing with it, all right? We fumbled it away 3 plays later on a tush push attempt. QB1 had the first down. He was trying to reach the ball, and Nashawn Wright just did an excellent job by going in and ripping the ball out. What do we always say the NFL is? It's a copycat league. I remember, I think it was either the Packers or it was somebody else that was trying to rip the ball out from QB1 before, and he held on to it.
Earlier this year.
It was earlier this year. He held on to it, but they called him down. They called him down that time. I forgot who we were playing, but it was at the link.
I think it was a Giant.
It might have been the Giant. It was Kevon Thibodeau. Good job. Thank you, Big Us. It was Kevon Thibodeau, but they called him down. And then there was another time where he did lose the fumble when he did try to reach the ball out. We always preach ball security, taking care of the football, helps you win a lot of football games. And that is something that the Philadelphia Eagles have not been doing over these past few weeks. Now, a few isolated defensive wins that we did have on Black Friday. Jalen Breadman Carter, he had a 10-yard sack. On Caleb Williams, we did stop Chicago on a 4th-and-1 early on in the game, and then a QB1 to Smitty 30-yard third down strike that led to one of Jake Elliott's field goals. Now, family, there were moments, but moments that did not win this game. Consistency wins game, and that's what we've been lacking these past few weeks of consistency here in Philadelphia.
Absolutely, especially on the offensive side of the ball.
Yes.
Now, look, like you said, gave a little bit of good. It wasn't a lot of good in this game, right? So let's talk about some of the bad and where the cracks really start showing up in the foundation. Mr. Owens had mentioned the turnovers. In the last 2 games, we've had 4 turnovers. In the previous 10 games, we had 4. So we went from an elite ball security team, you know what I mean? That's really what was keeping us in a lot of these games. We weren't making the huge mistakes. We just weren't finding our rhythm. But I guess it's the season of giving, and now we've just been giving the ball away on offense left and right? Giveaways, you get a ball, right? Wilbur Winfrey on the side, right? And then you go to Jake Elliott's missed extra point. It should have been 10-10, changed momentum instantly. Jake Elliott has these past few weeks, you know what I mean? He went from starting off the season kind of hot, but kind of been falling off a little bit. A couple missed field goals, looks like not an extra point, when it really should have just been a chip shot or whatever, but whatever. The Saquon Barkley drops. This has been a quiet theme, low-key.
Yes.
Right? It should have been a layup, a routine catch, symbolic of the whole game, sloppy, unfocused football, not concentrating, not looking the ball into your hands. Think about making a move before securing the ball, right?
Yes.
Ball security again. Hurts missing a wide open Smitty. 3rd and 8. Should have been a first down. Instead, we stall, kick another punt, frustration. And to me, that's the word that kind of sums up this offense. It's frustrating.
Yeah.
It's hard to watch. There's no consistency. There's no rhythm. There's no creativity. And then when we do get it, there's no execution. So as much as we want to blame KP, and KP takes a lot of this, the players not executing, that's a big part of it too. A coach can draw the perfect play, but if all 11 guys aren't doing their job and locked in, what does it matter? If you can't execute it, what does it matter if it's the perfect play?
Yeah.
We have to start executing. That's from QB1 on down, right?
And with that, because real quick, let me interject, please. QB1 on that one, I know that was a miscommunication because QB1 thought that Smitty was going to run out, but Smitty chose to cut in. Both of them have been working with each other since the Alabama days. And with that even being said, with QB1 thinking that, I just feel that the progression in his reads are kind of slow this year. That should have been an easy pitch and catch for him down the middle of the field. As well, it was another wide open person screaming down the field in Dallas Goedert. He ran kind of a little stutter and go and was going down the seam.
Would have been a walk-in touchdown.
And that's some things that QB1 has kind of regressed on this season by going through his reads, his progressions, and missing wide open people. Not saying that every quarterback is perfect in the NFL, because they're not, but those type of plays, we have to have those, especially with the offense not creating any big plays or any juice on that side of the football.
Yeah, no. Now, a lot of times folks don't realize this. Progressions change depending upon OC, upon your offensive coordinator. So Kellen Moore might come in here, same play, but Kellen Moore might see it differently. Hey, your progression should go left to right, left, boom, 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 or whatever the case may be. Kevin Patullo might come in here. Hey, I don't like that. We want our progressions to go right to left, boom. You know, so it all depends on the OC. But once again, that's communication. Yeah, I mean, those are things that should have been ironed out back in OTAs. Kevin Patullo's been here for the past 4 or 5 years. Like I said, Jalen Hurts been working with Smitty since them boys is 18, 19, 20 years old, right? So the familiarity should be there, and it's not, and it's a little concerning. The offensive penalties and just penalties in general. A.J. Brown, as big of a game as he had some bonehead drinks. the false start on the second play. That let me know right there, hey, bro, they're not focused. Second play of the offense, and you're all false start, let's lock in.
I think this is the second week in a row as well, too.
It is. You have the Brown offensive pass interference erasing his own 12-yard gain, which was, that one. They called it, but I agree. That one's a little funny, whatever. But miscommunications everywhere, especially on the offensive side of the ball. As much, nobody's on the same page. Nobody's seeing the game the same way. And going on, what are we, week 12, week 13
Week
now?
12, I believe. Yeah, week 12, week 13.
That's concerning. That's concerning. The lack of discipline is becoming a trend. It's not coincidental now. I'm starting to believe that this is who this team is now, an undisciplined team, right? And that starts with Nick Sirianni. The Bears running free. A team should never rush for 200-plus yards on you, right?
Never.
Ridiculous. DeAndre Swift rolling off 17-yard runs, untouched until he gets 10 yards down the field. What the hell? Chicago converting 7 to 10 third downs? That's 70%. Ridiculous, right? I give the defense some graces because they have been holding it down, but on the same side, hey, that Vic Fangio unit has to tighten it up. Then he flips to the offensive side, the Eagles, third down, 1 for 5. That's 20%. Not going to cut it. You're talking about trying to win a ball game, especially it's against a well-coached Ben Johnson Chicago Bears team. You have to convert. You have to start stopping them on when we're on defense, right? 7 to 10, 70%. God damn. My goodness.
And it's crazy too. Go ahead, big guys.
Go ahead.
It's crazy as well too, because as you mentioned, with the defense, with the Bears running free, we always talk about tackle, wrap up, rally to the football. Our defenders were getting to the ball carriers, but whiffing on tackles. That looked like the 2023 defense. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. That game specifically looked like the 2023 defense during that collapse. We have to get back to the basics and the fundamentals. We preach this on this channel religiously. Basics and fundamentals. Wrap up. Get the ball carriers down. As well, to add on to your point about miscommunication, in the first drive of the Eagles offense, we had Goddard coming on motion, and he clipped up Mailata. Mailata stumbled back and fell down. That's what made QB1 have to leave the pocket and try to improvise. It's little small things. These are things that we learn from Little League, bro. We have to tighten this up. And as you mentioned, it starts from the top. Nick Sirianni has to look himself in the mirror, and he has to lead these group of men, because this is not going to cut it. Yeah, if we want to go to the playoffs and win one game, maybe 2 games, cool. That's not our steez over here. We want to go to the bowl and win that bowl. So we have to make sure as a unit, as a group, as an organization, that everybody is locked in and focused on getting better, working on our craft, so none of this continues to happen. But now we got to go to the autopsy report, because stuff got ugly. It was dead out here. Now we step into the family. We step into the darkness, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls of all ages, because this is where the game was truly lost by the Philadelphia Eagles. As Big Huss mentioned, the run defense got humiliated. Chicago's right side of the line, Joe Tooney, Jonah Jackson, Darnell Wright, they mauled that Eagles front. They were pushing us back. We never got any forward push. As you mentioned, DeAndre Swift running free, not touched. That it starts in the trenches. It starts at the line of scrimmage. They bullied us. And I saw a report where I forgot which player it was on their defense. They just said they simply wanted it more than us. The coaches knew, the players knew, the Bears wanted it more than the Philadelphia Eagles. And we saw it firsthand. And now 281 rushing yards allowed. That is the most since 1973. Most of us weren't even thought about around that time. So look, that's not bad football. That is historically embarrassing football. Giving up those many yards since 1973. Come on now. People out here still rocking afros and jerry curls. You see what I'm saying? Got the activator in their hair. This is crazy work. You feel me? We're in 2025, man. This has to get better. The offensive run game, it's dead. It's no life in that game. The offensive line is not getting any push. They're not bullying people up front. Everybody's coming in with a game plan to focus on stopping Saquon Barkley. As an offensive staff, okay, cool. If you see Saquon Barkley they're focusing directly on him, let's try to mix it up. Let's get Tank Bigsby the ball. This is the second week in a row that Tank Bigsby has not got any touches. By no means are we saying that Tank Bigsby is better than Saquon Barkley, because he's not. But if Tank Bigsby is averaging damn near 10 yards a carry, let's get him behind the line and see what he can do as well. It's just frustrating that you don't get your best players the balls to make plays. Now, the Eagles, we don't have a run game, all right? They have run plays. We're very predictable, as CJGJ said. Wink, wink.
Hey, I said, I know you was going crazy after that win. I think you was going crazy. Hey, we should never let him go. I said that. We should never let this motherfucker go.
You said that. You said that. You said that.
Hey, was you talking shit out there, though?
Nah, I got too much respect for them to even disrespect the player that I play with, but it's like more so the defense. We disrespected them on defense, though.
Hey, now, we can ask him.
Go ahead.
Was the offense too easy? Predictable?
Speak your truth. Speak your truth.
Static and schemed into brick walls. It just, our offensive line is getting pushed back. Our running back is getting the ball. Next thing you know, he's getting contact in the backfield. So almost similar to the days when he played with the New York Giants. He has to dance in the backfield, do spin moves. Yeah, it's crazy. Like the fact that our offensive line is looking like a shell of themselves. The RPOs, which we're so great at, the thing that QB1 does best, that's gone. It's not reduced. It's just completely abandoned and taken out of the scheme. The intermediate passing game vanished. QB1 is elite between the 10 to 20 yard range, but this offensive staff refuses to call those type of plays. They're coaching scared. Again, as we always mention on this channel, they're terrified of turnovers. This is handcuffing your franchise QB in QB1. What did he say last year? They finally let the straitjacket off me, right? That's what they said. When he said, all right, they let the straitjacket off. We put a 55 against Washington and put a 40 in the Super Bowl. I'm really starting to feel that our offensive coaches are telling QB1, hey, be smart with the football when he takes the field. And with that, we play football, because when you tell a quarterback that and he's running on the field, he starts to believe that, like, look, I got to take care of the football. I can't make those turnovers. I can't force the ball downfield. That's handcuffing him. Let him out. Let him throw the football. Push the ball downfield. Stretch the defense. All right. The miscommunication everywhere. Now, that interception that QB1 threw, trying to make a play to A.J. Brown, Arthur Juan K, that was not on QB1. It wasn't on Arthur Juan K. It was on the structure of our offense. We had no hot read. No, it was a blitz incoming. The receiver breaks one way. Our QB throws the other way. This is a staff problem, not a talent problem. All right. The 2-point conversion disaster. This is the whole season in one play. Arthur Juan K was open. Dallas Goedert blocking the throwing lane. Jordan Mailata blocking no one. Half the offense running passing routes. Half the offense running a draw. This is a team operating on different scripts. The drive chart, after the first field goal, the next 7 drives were as follows. 3 and out, 3 and out, 3 and out, interception, touchdown, fumble, 3 and out. That is not NFL offenses, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls of all ages. That's just chaos, and that's offensive coaches playing not to lose. It's sickening.
No, and that's exactly what it is. It's an offense playing not to lose. We see what this offense looks like when they become aggressive. When they become the aggressors, they decide to punch defenses in the mouth. We execute, even with the lack of run game, right? Even when we're throwing the ball, we execute. When they get into this conservative bag, it is, oh my God, disgusting. Truly is disgusting. Now let's talk about the core of the issue. We got to talk the uncomfortable truth. Nick Sirianni, He keeps telling us, look, we just have to execute better. We just have to call it better. We have to scheme it up better. Bro, that's not the answer. That's part of it, but that's not the whole answer. That's a coach searching, right? That's a team searching. Kevin Patullo, he's not the only problem. As I said earlier, I can't put it 100% on KP, but my man is definitely a problem and part of the issue. The route spacing from week to week, terrible. Receivers overlapping one another, terrible. You talk about QB1 being elite from the 10 to 20-yard range, the intermediate concepts, there are none, right? It's slants and digs and outs, right? No rhythm, no timing. You also, Mr. Owens mentioned the RPO. There is no RPO. We went from one of the best running RPO teams to your point, it's not even really in the offense anymore. You could probably count on two hands how many RPOs you've seen throughout the whole season, truly. And then ones that have successfully worked, right? The blocking assignments, as much as we love Jeff Stoutland, it's not fair this year. And I don't know if there's just, we talk about miscommunication, if there's a disconnect between Stout and KP. Stout's one of the best in the game. If position coaches could go to the Hall of Fame, Stoutland would be probably a first ballot Hall of Famer, right? Yes. As far as a coach. But this year, and I granted we've had some injuries, but the offensive line has looked very mid. At some points, in some moments, they look a bit lost, a bit confused. We don't know assignments. Who are we supposed to block? Then on top of that, his house gets vandalized with eggs after the game. Now, look, I'm not supporting y'all throwing eggs at KP house, but that's how Philly rocking. You know, we're not going for this craziness, right? But no, don't do that. That man, he doesn't deserve that. We all want to do some malicious things to KP, but you can't go around doing that, man. This man has a family and everything of that nature. It was embarrassing, a bit unacceptable. That's not Philly culture, but it kind of is Philly culture, right? But Sirianni's saying, look, there's no changes that will be made right now, and everything will be evaluated. What the hell is that? It should have been evaluated. The changes should have been happened. We knew through the first really 3, 4, 5 games that this wasn't going to work. The experiment's over. I understand. I mean, Ms. Owens even mentioned, I understand that KP is Sirianni's friend, but we're here to win ball games right now. And KP's not cutting it. There's a slight panic there, and they have to find answers because we clearly have a problem offensively.
Yes, we definitely have a problem offensively because, and as you mentioned about KP's house getting vandalized with eggs, that's just straight up clown behavior. These are a lot of younger Eagle fans. I'm not going to say it's all Eagle fans. For sure. It's a lot of younger Eagle fans that haven't been through what we have been through, being diehard Eagle fans. We've been through the 4-win seasons with Andy Reid. We've been through the craziness with Chip Kelly. We've been through the last portion of Dougie P. These are things that we were used to. We've always been a great team, but these new Eagle fans, we lose back-to-back games or we lose 4 games. Now they're panicking. Oh my gosh, what? Come on, man. Come on now. These are these new Eagle fans, and I don't stand for that. But with you mentioning that the offense and myself needs some infusion, we might have a gift. Frank Reich just got fired by the Stanford Cardinals. Even though he can't fully come in as the offensive coordinator, maybe we might use him as an offensive consultant. Let's get some new, innovative, creative minds in here, because as long as this continues to happen, we're not going anywhere, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls of all ages. We have to let's get a veteran presence in here that knows these players, that knows this organization, and that knows offense. Man, we need a spark on offense. And now we have some injuries and discipline. Like Adoree Jackson, he left the game early with his arm hanging. He tried to come in with his shoulder, make a hit. He had his arm dangling. We had penalties throughout the game, stalled momentum again and again. What's new? It's just we continue to shoot ourselves in the foot with self-inflicted wounds. Sloppy football is becoming the identity, as me and Big Huss have mentioned, and that is a dangerous thing to play around with. But with the Dory Jackson getting banged up, because it seems like he goes in and out every week.
Yeah.
He plays good, but then he gets injured. And then we just heard that the Steelers parted ways with Big Play Slay, even though he has to clear waivers. Slay could threaten retirement if he doesn't want to play for a former team, but he did. I mean, not with the former team, with any team. But he did mention that he does have some interest finishing career with Philadelphia or the Detroit Lions. But I will definitely like to see Big Play Slay back here in the fold with the Philadelphia Eagles.
I wouldn't be mad at a Big Play Slay reunion. Look, we need help. So I'll take anybody we can get at this point, because I'm trying to hoist a Lombardi at the end of the year. So we can straight up. So we can bring Slay behind in here, slide him into that CB2 role. Look, man, it's added depth. It's added experience. He's a Super Bowl champion.
Yes.
He's going to be a Hall of Famer, right? At some point in his career. He knows the system. Why not add him in? Because like you said, I like Adoree Jackson. Adoree Jackson has played. He's gotten better from week to week.
Yes, he competes.
He
competes.
Start off a little bit slow, but it's gotten better from week to week. Definitely competing, but gets a little nicked up. So to have that added depth there, it would be amazing, right?
And then the crazy thing is too, because with Big Play Slay, if he comes back, he wouldn't be CB1 as he was last year.
What I'm saying.
He'll be CB2. So he'll be going against the second receiver. He'll be going against the third receiver. In Pittsburgh, they wanted him to be the number one receiver. I mean, number one corner. I'm sorry. So that will be a change. And then we might have some reinforcements on the way as well, because us with Sidney Brown, we know sometimes he's too over aggressive and he doesn't understand when to throttle down. But we did have a 21-day practice window open with Marcus Epps. Yep. With Marcus Epps coming back with that veteran presence, I would like to actually see him get a shot at safety when healthy.
Oh yeah, Marcus Epps, he's a dog. Got a lot of love for him.
Mm-hmm.
But look, man, this game, man, it wasn't a bad day. It wasn't a fluke. This was flashing red alarms, right? Hazards. Right now, the Eagles, there's no identity. There's no rhythm. There's no counter punch. And we were known for the counter punch, right? There's no creativity. There's no discipline. And that's crazy to say for a team that just won a Super Bowl. It knows what it takes to get there. To say that there's no discipline, crazy, especially with the vets we have on this team. Let's just say confused spacing, run game. What run game? A frustrated quarterback, a frustrated offense, frustrated fans, confused O-line, a defense that's getting tired and now starting to get bullied, and a coaching staff searching for answers when we should already really have them. Especially at this point, this isn't week 3. We're kind of figuring out how the season goes. We're going on week 12, week 13. We still have the same questions, right? The same red flags. The Eagles didn't bounce back from that Dallas loss. They doubled down on collapsing in only a way that the Eagles can do, right? Now we kind of get a mini bye because we had that Black Friday game. So you kind of get a few more days in there. But look, we have to tighten up. We have the Chargers coming up.
Mm-hmm.
You talk about a team that's going to run the ball. Harbaugh is going to tote that pill. He's going to run the ball and play defense. So if we can't stop the run, you might see a lot of the same showing that you just saw on Black Friday, right? The season is teetering. The coaching staff is teetering. The locker room is teetering. Changes need to happen, and they have to happen fast. There's only a few more games left in the season before we get to the playoffs. And like Mr. Owens said, are you trying to go into the playoffs and win one game and go on head home and watch the rest of the season from your couch? Or are you trying to be at that Super Bowl, hoisting that Lombardi, doing your dance? You know what I mean? Like, come on, man. Right now, it's looking like the 2023 season all over again. The collapse seems like it's starting to take form, but we have an opportunity to right this ship.
Mm-hmm.
But in order to right this ship, you have to keep the main thing the main thing. You got to stay locked in to the details. What is it? Tough, detailed together.
Yes, sir.
We have to get back to that. That just can't be words. That has to be action. right? And if we're going to do it, get to it now, because if you try to correct this when the playoffs come, I'm telling you right now, it's going to be too late.
Yes, it definitely will be too late, man. Like you said, keep the main thing. The main thing, we just got to look ourselves in the mirror and come as a collective and a group and really put our best foot forward, man, for these last remaining games and go into the playoff strong. It's not about how you start, it's about how you finish. And if I know anything, and we know anything about these players in this locker room, this organization, they're going to make sure that they get this corrected, because we know Jeffrey Lurie, Howie Roseman, our players do not like to be embarrassed. The city of Philadelphia does not like to be embarrassed. So this will be corrected, and I'm interested to see how they perform on Monday night versus the Chargers. But we'll definitely dive into that. I'll have my midweek come out, and then Big Huss will put his in week out, and then we'll have our preview on Saturday for the Los Angeles Chargers. But again, to our loyal family, thank you. Y'all know it's all love. The Main Thing Podcast presents can't happen without the support from y'all. And to our new supporters, welcome to the community and our family. Let's continue to do our part for the community and our family. Please continue to like the videos. It does help with the visibility in the algorithm. Disrespect that comment section. Share and subscribe to the community and our content. And last but not least, make sure you turn on that notification bell, also known as that Liberty Bell looking thingy, so you don't miss when Swoop comes out with the Eagles news and updates.
Absolutely. Hey, I hope everyone had a great holiday. You didn't let the Eagles ruin your Black Friday and things of that nature. But no, I hope everyone's week is starting off great, man. This is the Main Thing Podcast. And if you don't know, I go by Big Huss.
And I go by Mr. Owens.
And this is the Main Thing Podcast, where we keep the main thing. The main thing. Hey, stay blessed, stay safe, stay warm. There's been some snow blizzards going on. Man. And until next time, man, y'all know what it is. This flag will fly till we die. Let's get it.
It was I was gonna make a lot of money doing what I wanted to do. I went after it, and it was a struggle to achieve it. But you know what? I caught that bitch. Dream chasing.